Hi folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review the Riftbreaker DLC, Into the Dark. The DLC is available for about $10. The core game will set you back about $30. The DLC Into the Dark will give you access to the Crystal Caverns in survival mode, and also the Crystal Caverns in the campaign, although it is just a branch off of the main campaign, and you have to get so far into the campaign before you can even get access to it. So if you've never played the campaign before, you're going to have to play that for a while before you actually get into the DLC content. So what is the Riftbreaker? Well, for those of you tuning in for the first time, this is a top-down action RPG with base building and resource management. Think Factorio, but without the conveyor belts and the need to funnel resources into particular buildings. Everything here is mostly automated. So as you travel to different regions on the planet and get specific resources, you'll be able to upload these resources into, I guess, the Nether, and then you'll have them whenever you need them. So there's no need to logistically get things from one place to another. And these resources that you get, like cobalt, uranium, titanium, and then some of the other like plant-based stuff, like you can grow different trees in this game and they will generate specific resources for you. You will be able to get access to new weapons for your mech. You can have a left hand and a right hand. So you can, get grenade launchers and flamethrowers and cryo weapons. And then there's other melee weapons. And there's even like dash abilities for movement. And they even have tiers. So like the gray abilities are like the weakest, but through research and technology, you'll get access to stronger abilities for those things. There's even a hotbar that you can't see right now, but it's on the bottom of your main screen, and it's like numbered 1 through 8. These are abilities that you can just activate. And I've got like 3 different turrets. I've got mines that I can place down, a self-heal, there they are. And there's even a decoy that you can throw down. I love that one. And a scanner. And this scanner is important because it will scan all of the flora and the animals around it, and will actually like generate kind of research for you. The more you do that, the more you identify an item, the more familiar you get with that creature or flora, and that unlocks new things in your tech tree. You can also get mods for your weapons. The better the rarity or the better quality of the weapon, the more mod slots you unlock. And these mods can be more damage, rate of fire, all sorts of cool things. And again, the gameplay loop is just base defend, build a bunch of buildings, generate energy, and try and get from one region to the next. The research tree in this game is extremely extensive. Like, we're talking a lot of stuff here. There's 3 different tabs. One's for like buildings, one's for weapons and equipment, and the other one is that alien research. That's that scanner I was talking about. As you identify flora and animals in this game, you'll unlock new things to, give you an edge, and I love that. What you're going to get with this DLC, the Into the Dark, is again the Crystal Cavern, both in the campaign and in the survival mode. In survival mode, unfortunately, you have to beat the previous map to get to it, and I think Crystal Cavern is on the bottom. So you really have to like beat all the maps before you even get to Crystal Cavern. So I've played this, I had to start fresh with the campaign because I've never played it before. I've always done the survival mode. But it took me 16 hours to beat the campaign and this DLC. So there's a lot of here. And the 2 main gimmicks is the ability to drill through walls. In the Crystal Cavern, you'll have to use your drill and dig through walls. Yeah, it's something weird. Typically, you can use your spacebar to drill into resources, but here you'll be actually digging out walls and trying to, create paths. The other main gimmick in this game comes in the form of new wind turbine generation. There are these vents underground, and there are spots on the ground around the vent, and they will supercharge your wind turbines. Now, yes, there are like carbonite deposits that you can put your carbonite power plants onto, but for the most part, like these are the OP ones that you'll want to take advantage of whenever you see them, because I will tell you, this particular DLC is challenging. You can even, when you're creating the campaign, you can set the sliders any way you want to. There's an extensive customization slider option there. Even with them laxed, I had a very difficult time with this one. I was just bombarded constantly from all sorts of different directions. And just like my strategy was, you need to create mini bases around the power hubs that you're creating. And one of my objectives was to go to 4 different sites and put down these driller things there. And I had to protect those. And they required water, so I had to find geothermal vents and put geothermal power plants on them. Their byproduct is mud, so I had to go through a water treatment and build pipes and then transport that water to the drill. It's a nightmare. Logistically, it's a nightmare. I know a lot of it's automated, but it was still a logistical nightmare. More so the power drain, because I had to have so many turrets to just consistently fight off the enemy. It was insane. And this was on the most lax, not most lax, but it was on a very lax setting. And it was a slog, like a complete and utter slog. Just trying to get that done was insane. Not saying it's not fun, mind you. It is very satisfying to have 15 turrets of different types. One's shooting lasers. The other one has an acid, spewing acid. The other one's, flamethrower turret. Then you've got these missile turrets. And then you've got a bomb deployer that's just transporting bombs into the middle of enemy creatures. It is so fun. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying this is probably the most challenging of the maps that I've played. It's just mainly in the form of power generation. I didn't have access to uranium, so I can build nuclear power plants. All of it was like wind turbines and carbonium generated energy. At the end of it all, you'll have to fight a boss, the Anorix worm. He's a pushover. Like, the rest of the game was harder compared to this guy. It was cool, don't get me wrong, to fight this little boss. But I just threw my turrets down, and I mean, my character had finished the campaign and had most of the research done, so it was fairly easy just to finish this guy off with my supercharged weapons. I had like all purple weapons and armor and everything else. The next upgrade was red, but I didn't even bother with that. And it was just super easy in terms of the last boss. And after it was all said and done, I believe I unlocked, what was it? I think it was a skin and some kind of special weapon. But yeah, all in all, this particular like DLC took me, I've been playing it for the last 2 or 3 nights at 3-4 hours a pop. So roughly 10 to 12 hours, but only if you don't speed run through it and you bother to build up a lot of bases. I do recommend this DLC, but I have to warn you, you're not going to get access to it right away unless you're familiar with the core game. You have to advance so far into the core game to access it, and it is one of the tougher ones. So if you like a challenge, then check this one out. The gimmicks are okay, but nothing to write home about. But the play time versus the cost is definitely there. Well, there you have it. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.